This is the EndZone. Let's move the chains. We're starting a brand new series weekly. This is the Full Ride College Football Weekly Series show where we talk about college football's matchups, its glorious storylines, and all the fun that comes along during the college football season. With that being said, we're going to dive right in and begin with looking back at last week, week one. Now, there wasn't really much action week one, but if you're a hardcore college football fan, you're definitely watching. I have one really big takeaway, and that's the American Athletic Conference falls flat week one when it has a chance to show everybody in the country that it belongs as a Power 5 or Power 6 team, kind of where the conference wants to be. So not only did Navy get crushed on Monday Night Football in front of everybody on ESPN by the BYU Cougars, but Shane Buechele and SMU struggled at Texas State, and Memphis really did not get everything going. They held on against Arkansas State, but if you watch that game, Arkansas State was in it. I wasn't a fan that they were running a two-quarterback system, if you ask me. But if you want to be considered a top conference, you've really got to show it. I felt that they had an opportunity to show that in week one with kind of their better teams playing. They did not show that. So that's a good segue to our performance of the week, week one. BYU puts up 580 yards and 55 points, holding Navy to only 3 points. And our player of the week, freshman Grant Wells from Marshall, throws for 307 yards, 4 touchdowns in his first ever college football game. What a way to start. Now, we can get into week two, beginning with our storylines. Thursday Night Football, D'Eriq King is now a Hurricane, and can he be the quarterback to take Miami to the next level? I am riding the hype train. I thought D'Eriq King kind of got shoved into the corner when Jamie Newman transferred to Georgia. I know Jamie Newman is not going to play. D'Eriq King is a much better quarterback than Jamie Newman, but D'Eriq King got no hype, no recognition at all, mostly because he's going to Miami. If you switch that, D'Eriq King goes to Georgia, then the world would be on fire. But D'Eriq King is extremely talented, and I am very curious to see if D'Eriq King can make Miami's offense elite in the ACC. And also, I have which teams in the Big 12 and the ACC, because the other conferences aren't playing this week, will come out flat. We saw it in week one. A lot of squads have been sloppy on both offense and defense. Tackling has been atrocious. Are we going to see a team like Baylor, maybe with a new coach, or Iowa State? Sometimes they struggle with FCS or lower tier opponents. Or Louisville, an undersized team, get a close game or quite possibly an upset. That would be awesome to have in week two. I don't know if we'll get it. The matchups aren't really that great, to be honest. Now let's take a look at our matchups of the week, and there aren't really many of them because, like I said, this week 2/week 1 for a lot of conferences, it's not the greatest games. So Syracuse and North Carolina, disappointing year for the Orangemen in 2019. Can they bounce back? That's the real question. While the Tar Heels are trying to prove they are a big boy in the ACC, they want to be up there with Clemson and Notre Dame for this year. I've got Mac Brown and Sam Howell putting up some big points in this game. I really only question, can the defense hold off? Usually a Syracuse offense that's pretty good, but I don't really expect much. I just really want to see how is North Carolina going to respond with all of these big expectations for the 2020 season. Then we have Duke versus Notre Dame. This is a fun one because while Duke may not win this game, their strength is probably their defense. I know they have Chase Bryce coming in at quarterback, but I want to see the Irish break out on offense. Notre Dame has become what I call the Georgia of the North, in the sense that their defense, you can count on it being one of the best in the country, being incredibly strong year in and year out. But I want to see their offense do something. This defense should handle Chase Bryce and the Duke offense. I want to see Notre Dame's offense drop north of 40 on Duke. I want to see Notre Dame's offense break out against a Power 5 opponent. Then we have Georgia Tech and Florida State. Two teams with kind of new coaches, and Georgia Tech with second-year coach, Florida State with first-year coach. Georgia Tech has a lot of improving to do, moving on from that triple option offense. This is another game where predicting the winner is going to probably be pretty easy, but I want to see how Mike Norvell has changed Florida State football for the better. What is this team going to look like? How's the defense going to look like? Is the offense going to actually look like an offense? Last year, there were so many miscues, so many really, really bad plays, bad examples that you could pull up. I want to see a different Florida State football team. I want to see more teams in the ACC competing. We'll definitely get a good matchup with Georgia Tech and FSU. Finally, we have Clemson versus Wake. Now, last year, Trevor Lawrence entered the season in a sophomore slump. I just want to see how he's going to react to all these expectations. Probably he's going to be the number one quarterback picked in the draft, maybe the number one overall player. I want to see how he's going to respond. There's a lot of hype around him. Also, Wake Forest losing Jamie Newman. How are they going to respond? I'd like to see this game more for Clemson. Obviously, Clemson's probably going to win this game. There weren't really many Big 12 games. A lot of them are playing lower tier teams or FCS teams like Oklahoma. I'm still interested in seeing Spencer Rattler play, but I heard that game is pay-per-view, so I'm not going to pay to watch him play East Mountain Tech State. It's just not worth my money. I do love college football, though. I will probably watch the highlights. I'd love to know your opinions. Which games are you most excited for as the Power 5 gets started for 2020? And which storylines are you looking forward to in the college football season? Thanks for watching the End Zone. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment as always so we can move the chains.